Kia ora everybody, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, the weather forecast at the moment is changing. After 5 or 6 weeks of solid high air pressure and mainly dry weather, we are now returning to a bit of a spring-like pattern. That'll be great news for people who want some rain, maybe not the best news for some people who are going on holiday, and you might be a little frustrated that why did we get all that settled weather when we were at work and at school, and now it's changing. That's typical though, isn't it? Here's the setup at the moment. There's a lot going on. So we've got different wind directions, easterlies around the eastern side, westerlies on the western side, southerlies on the southern side. Around Auckland, you've got a sou'wester coming through now after a few weeks of a lot of easterlies. And then around the eastern side of the North Island, fairly light winds, and that could actually produce some severe thunderstorms as we head into Wednesday afternoon. We don't have the same heat going on that Australia's got. They've got a northerly flow coming down there. And Sydney could be hitting above 40 degrees on Thursday, but not in New Zealand. Thursday in New Zealand, we've actually got a cool down coming for the eastern side of the North Island. So Hawke's Bay, your high, just 20 degrees. After how many weeks of 30s and mostly sunny weather, I think a lot of you will enjoy this cooler, refreshing change, and a bit of drizzle, maybe some showers in there as well. So it's probably quite a nice forecast for many of you. Dry for most other places, maybe a lingering shower or drizzle patch around the northeastern side of the South Island. On Friday, we've got a couple of downpours that are popping up around the north and central parts of the North Island. In the South Island, mainly dry, but there is a weak cold front that comes through that might produce a few showers around Southland and some decent rain around Fiordland. Then we head into the weekend, and Saturday sees downpours again around the North Island. Central areas, eastern areas, perhaps at the highest risk. Might also be a downpour in the upper South Island, but it's actually Sunday that gets a little bit more interesting. We've got sinking low air pressure moving through, and that's going to produce some downpours. Some of them could be a bit heavy. There might even be an isolated thunderstorm. This is not one big long band of rain though. These are showers that will be bubbling up, and they'll be a little bit hit and miss, and then into the afternoon and evening they should expand and become a bit more widespread. But you notice you can see kind of the edges of the islands. That usually means they're more likely to be inland, although some might drift and form around some of the coastlines. But definitely a decent chance of some downpours on Sunday. And then on Monday, it's a similar story. Again, lower air pressure around the North Island means it's a bit more unstable. You don't have those big blocking highs out to the east. That's what we've been having for the last several weeks. Now that high pressure is gone, there's a higher chance of downpours. So that's great news for people who need relief. But I got to say, not everyone will get it. There'll be some areas that are still dry, still missing out on some of these downpours, but you got to make some smiles because there will be some rain for those areas that do need it the most. And like you see on Monday here, there'll be some more. And then you get to Tuesday, and this could be sort of a hint of the weather pattern for the rest of December. We might be seeing a mixture of high pressure tracking to the north, and you can't quite see it, but lower pressure down here in the Southern Ocean tracking by. Now that will produce a spring-like weather pattern again, not quite so much this big settled summer one. Doesn't mean it's all going to turn wintry and nasty, but it just means we're going to have more variety in the wind directions, and therefore that gets rain or showers into different parts of the country. So that's a good positive forecast for those who need rain. For those going away on holiday, just be aware there could be a few showers and perhaps a couple of windy days in there. And that's perhaps a bit of a one step forward, one step back, because windy westerlies like this, while they might produce wet weather and perhaps a higher chance of some lows going by us, the windy westerlies can be pretty hot for some eastern areas, and the wind also dries the ground out. So we've got a little bit more variety in the weather coming. It means that weather forecasters are certainly earning their money right up to Christmas. There's a fair bit of work to go on as we really try and fine-tune what is going on with this bit of a chaotic weather pattern that we're getting back into again now. That is all from me. We'll catch you again tomorrow.